This year at CES, AMD put everyone to sleep, and Nvidia, they announced a few new GPUs, but that was about it. The end. Hey, if you enjoy content like this, drop a like, make sure to subscribe, and smash that bell so you never miss another video. Hey, what is going on guys? Danny here, welcome back to the channel and I hope you've all been doing well. In this video, I'll be discussing some of the stuff that AMD and Nvidia had to share with us this year at CES, and what I thought about it. To start off, let me just say that this year's CES presentations from AMD and Nvidia weren't all that exciting, in fact quite the opposite, more of a snooze fest at that. For the most part, a lot of what AMD's presentation focused on was addressing what's going on around the world, what happened the past year, and how they've worked with multiple companies to overcome all the challenges. They've had multiple companies with the representatives who spoke with AMD CEO Lisa Su, such as Microsoft, Lenovo, Mercedes, etc., all who basically talked about what they had accomplished with AMD's partnership and what they plan to do in the future. Pretty much an elongated ad if you ask me. Honestly, if you're interested, I would recommend just going onto AMD's channel and rewatching it for yourself, but even if you don't watch it, you're not really missing much. As for the product announcements, well, that is where things get even more disappointing because I know everyone had a lot to look forward to, such as new mobile parts, Threadripper 5000, desktop APUs, mid-range graphics cards, but unfortunately all we got was a bit of information on a couple mobile processors and a teaser for their discrete mobile GPUs based on RDNA 2, and that was that. With that said though, the mobile chips do look quite intriguing, and there's no doubt that they'll be bringing excellent performance to laptops, and these new Ryzen 5000 mobile CPUs are based off their latest Zen 3 architecture, the same as their desktop 5000 series chips. And AMD did show off a few benchmarks, trouncing Intel as usual, and they also showcased some high-performance SKUs such as the Ryzen 9 5900HS and 5980HX 8-core 16-thread processors, really turning a portable laptop into an absolute powerhouse. You'd have one capable laptop with one of these chips inside it. Now, with mobile chips, it's actually best to reserve judgment until we see the products integrated by OEMs in their products, and hopefully they do it right. While the chips on paper may look very impressive, if they're in garbage laptops where the cooling isn't adequate or they have weird power restrictions, then you're not going to get the best out of the chips. And trust me, I've seen some really bad designs out there, whether it's poor cooling or having a great 8-core mobile processor only for it to be held back because the OEM decided, you know what, we'll just stick in 8 GB of single channel 2400 MHz RAM in there and call it a day. So here's hoping that OEMs actually give the proper attention when including these Ryzen mobile processors in their machines. Aside from that, there was a bit of a teaser for their RDNA 2 mobile discrete GPUs where they showcased Dirt 5 and that was it. No specific information about models, no upcoming laptops shown off which would have the GPUs, just that it's something to look out for later on in the year. And that was really it from AMD. A bit disappointing, but I figure with everything that's going on in the world, they probably didn't want to be super ambitious and, start showcasing new products when they're having trouble delivering a stable supply for already announced products like desktop Ryzen 5000 series and Radeon 6000 series graphics cards. Moving on to Nvidia, and their presentation was also more of the same. It was a 40-minute presentation talking about how the pandemic had changed the world, and because so many people were at home gaming and esports had done a huge number. Along with that, they had showed some new recent titles and games which included their tech like RTX, DLSS, and all that. It wasn't until the second half of the presentation where they announced a few new products, the first of which was a new mid-range graphics card, the RTX 3060 with 12 GB of VRAM, with a quote-unquote MSRP of $329, and will be available in late February. They didn't show off any performance figures aside from a vague chart, but based on the leaks we've got from OEMs, this GPU that's based on the GA106 chip with 3,584 CUDA cores, I'm presuming this GPU's performance will sit in between a 2070 and 2070 Super, which wouldn't be a bad deal for $329, but let's be real here, the GPUs that will actually hit store shelves will be marked up significantly higher, probably close to $380, which is a shame. This GPU would have been a decent upgrade for those 1060 owners, but most 1060 owners aren't looking to drop like $400 on a new GPU, but want to stick within that $250 to $280 segment where that 1060 was originally in, so you lose either way. Still, the cheaper RTX 30 series GPUs are the ones I am most interested in, as those are the GPUs most buyers will flock towards, so we'll have to wait until late February until it's actually released and reviewed, which, I'll try to see if I can get a review sample for you guys as well so I can do a review on it. Next up, we have Nvidia's RTX 30 series mobile announcement. To start off, they shared some new software features with AI to integrate new efficient and effective boost algorithms. Cool, but until we're actually able to test it and see how good it is and, how well OEMs implement it, we really don't know much else apart from just marketing speak. Included in those announcements was resizable bar support. I was actually pretty happy to see this, as AMD already had this tech working with their products, just branded as Smart Access Memory. So I was wondering, when will we see Nvidia finally announce this new tech as well? But essentially, the CPU will now have access to the GPU's entire memory buffer rather than the smaller 256 megabyte portions. Nvidia have said they'll be including this feature on their new laptops with Intel and Nvidia GPUs. They also did mention that desktop GPUs will get the feature too, and that they are working with Intel, AMD, and motherboard manufacturers to implement the feature so that gamers will also see the benefit. And I am very much looking forward to the feature, as it can help boost performance in games considerably, but it's also dependent on how the game is optimized. Still, I'll be eager to test and do some benchmarking with it. As for the discrete mobile GPUs, they showed off a few models that had the RTX 3060, RTX 3070, and RTX 3080. Now keep in mind, just because the GPUs have the same branding as the desktop parts doesn't necessarily mean they'll have the same exact specs. In fact, they'll be cut down in terms of CUDA cores, memory, power, and all that stuff. Again, this is just one of those things that until we actually see the laptops themselves in action and reviewed, it's hard to actually judge performance. Because as I said before, when it comes to things like power and thermals, they do play a huge role. You could have two laptops with the same CPU and GPU, but if one doesn't have good cooling, then you're going to experience thermal throttling and performance wouldn't be optimal. Nonetheless, I am happy to see laptops getting all the great updates and new components. Whether it's a new Intel CPU, AMD CPU, and or Nvidia GPU, this is going to seriously propel laptop gaming performance forward, and this is fantastic for those people who want a great 2-in-1 machine that can handle all their work needs, gaming needs, and also be portable at the same time. There's a lot of folks out there who work in positions where, you're taking your laptop to work and then you're going to be bringing it home so you can continue your work at home, and then you might think that, later on in the night you want to fire up a good game of COD and, just enjoy it. And hey, a lot of these laptops have similar IOs to desktops, so you can just come home, plug it into the wall, plug a bunch of peripherals into it, and it'll be like gaming on your own personal desktop. So laptops offer that great flexibility. And hey, I actually haven't purchased a new laptop since like 9 years ago, and I think it's finally time I upgraded, so I'll be waiting to see what hits the market. I hope you guys found this video to be informative and helpful. Let me know your thoughts down below. Check out the video description on ways to support the channel and for my other videos. If you guys are interested in more content like this, then make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.